What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Car Concierge Show, the show that helps with the buying, selling, maintaining, and repairing of your vehicle. On today's show, we're going to do our usual, talk about a couple of recalls that are coming out for Ford, talk about a major lawsuit that Honda and Acura is dealing with, and then we're going to scuttlebutt into a little story about a shooting that happened on Wednesday that was pretty much missed by everybody because of the death of Charlie Kirk. All right, let's jump straight into it. This is going to be a quick show, and let's do it. So, and of course, what is a week go by without another Ford recall? Recently, another recall has come out for Ford dealing with their rear view cameras. Let's check it out.
Ford is recalling almost 1.5 million vehicles because of faulty rear view cameras. The recall includes vehicles from model years 2015 to 2019, including Expeditions, Mustangs, Lincoln Navigators, and several others. The automaker says the rear view camera may show a blank or distorted image on the display screen while the vehicle's in reverse. There are 18 reports so far of accidents related to the issue, but so far no injuries. Owners of the impacted vehicles will be notified by mail.
Pretty straightforward information, pretty straightforward story.
It is the end of an era, but it is not the end for the Nissan GTR entirely.
So, once again, this is nothing new for us, guys. We were just reporting that there's a new recall out for you guys, specifically if you are a Ford owner, specifically a Lincoln MKZ or any other ones that have this rear view camera situation. Now, I will say that if your rear view camera is acting up, you should still be able to drive, and you still should be able to take care of yourself. And I do have that fear of, people not knowing how to drive without these rear view cameras and relying way too much on these technology when they're driving their vehicles. Because, of course, being in the collision division of the world, I understand that that's how a lot of, problems or accidents happen, is because people are not paying attention, because they, have all these systems in place that are supposed to keep them from hitting things and running into things and braking too quickly or whatever it may be. And this is just making literally most people soft when it comes to driving. You guys just, you don't. Because you got the reverse and it's supposed to be beeping, nobody really turns around and looks anymore. And people rarely use their side view mirrors anymore. It's a situation where the new technology in these vehicles is making people soft when it comes to driving. It's making driving a lot easier, but at the same time, it's making driving harder, because some people can drive without learning all the basics that you need to be on the road, and on the road safely, to keep not only you, but everybody else safe. So, rear view camera going out, not a big deal, but still, check NHTSA, see if your car is one that is affected. Matter of fact, you'll know if your car is one that's affected because your rear view camera will go out. And, most cases you turn the car off, you turn it back on, you recycle the system, it'll come back on. But obviously, it's it's a big enough problem that all these cars are having it, and dang well it's just going to be another software update for these computer systems that maintain your rear view camera, and it's going to fix it for a short time till you need another software update, just like your computer or your phone, because that's what they are. All right, next up, we're going to talk about a major lawsuit that Honda and Acura is going to be going through here recently. Let's check that out real quickly.
Attention Honda and Acura owners, this is a story you're going to want to hear. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is officially investigating over 1.4 million vehicles for potential engine failures. Now, if you drive a Honda Pilot, Odyssey, or Acura MDX, a few other popular models, this could affect you. Here's everything you need to know, broken down under 5 minutes. This investigation stems from a series of complaints made by drivers who are reporting their engine seizing or failing completely, often without warning. Now, it's important to note that this isn't the first time Honda's engines have been under scrutiny. Back in November 2023, The NHTSA opened a recall investigation into certain models due to crankshaft manufacturing defects that caused connecting rod bearing problems. That recall was supposed to fix the issue, but here's where it gets interesting. After looking into these new cases, investigators realized the failures were not linked to that crankshaft defect. So now a brand new probe has been launched to determine whether there's another hidden flaw and just how widespread it is. The investigation covers the following models and years. We have the Honda Pilot 2016 through 2020, the Honda Ridgeline 2017 through 2019, the Honda Odyssey 2018 through 2020, the Acura MDX 2016 through 2020, and finally the Acura TLX 2018 through 2020. Now that's a huge range of vehicles, millions of family SUVs, crossovers, and minivans that are still on the road today. Now, according to NHTSA's Office of Defects Investigation, they've already received 414 reports of engine issues, many describing sudden loss of power, knocking noises, and even total engine failure. While no injuries or fatalities have been reported, this is still a major safety concern. Losing your engine at highway speeds could lead to dangerous situations. So what happens now? The NHTSA will gather vehicle data, owner complaints, and technical information from Honda to determine whether a formal recall is necessary. This process can take months, but the good news is that federal regulators are already on top of it. If you own one of these affected models, here's what you should do. Head to the nhtsa.gov/recall site and plug in your vehicle identification number. Keep an eye on Honda and Acura service bulletins for updates. Also, you're going to want to make sure to listen for any unusual sounds, especially knocking or ticking noises coming from your engine. Report any issues directly to the NHTSA. Your report could help speed up the investigation. Now remember, even though no one's been hurt, engine failures can be expensive, stressful, and dangerous. Staying ahead of recalls is the best way to protect both your car and your wallet. This story is developing.
All right, guys, I'm gonna stop it there. And this is one of those situations that is twofold, because they've already had this problem and they've already tried to fix it with a recall. And the fact that it didn't fix the problem, and then they're coming back for the second scoop to establish what the real problem is, and they don't know, they still got to do massive investigation, is a major problem. Now, the big problem I see is that a lot of these vehicles are fairly old. Talking about vehicles that from 2016, almost 10 years ago. So you're going to run into situations where, of course, people have either already fixed the problem or they've already gotten rid of the vehicle because it was having such problems. Now, the fact that there's so much, the timetable is so big and the amount of vehicles is so big, tells us that it's such a widespread problem and it's been going on for so long that the need for a lawsuit was necessary just to get the attention of the automaker to make sure that they took care of this problem. And even to this day, we can say that they haven't completely taken care of the problem and they just tried to throw a band-aid on it, and that band-aid fell off, and to the point where it's going to cost them millions and millions of dollars. Because if we're talking about engines, when you're talking about engines and engine recalls, you're talking about, in most cases, either complete engine replacement or at least, very least, a short block, which is in some cases the top of the engine or whatever part of the engine that is damaged, if it can be removed, that's expensive. The minute that a technician touches an engine, it's going to be expensive. And the real problem is that the technician is going to have to get paid off of warranty time, so they're going to get paid less. That's a whole nother story for people in the automotive industry who understand such things. But this is just another situation where the automaker decided they was going to try to fix a problem with the cheapest method possible, and they got caught. And now there's another investigation, and all these car owners who are still going to have these problems are going to continue to have these problems until they establish what they're going to do to fix it. And of course, as I always say, the bigger problem in this situation with vehicles that are that old is that in some cases, if this has already happened to the person And they went to the dealership, and the dealership said, well, it's not covered under any warranty, and you're going to pay these thousands of dollars to get the repairs done. They, in some cases, already paid that money, or in other cases, they got rid of the vehicle. Either way, they lost. And when it comes to the recalls, it's going to be extremely, extremely hard for a person who's gotten this problem fixed, repaired at a local dealership or at a mom and pop to get the reimbursement that they deserve for spending money to get this problem fixed when it should have been a recall and should have been taken care of by the automaker all along. All right, guys, let's jump into our last story of the day. So, what we're going to do really quickly, because I promised that I would, on Wednesday, we had the horrific incident of Charlie Kirk being killed over in Utah. And it dominated the airwaves, it dominated the media, it dominated social media to the point where we all missed out on a story about children getting killed over at a high school in Colorado, I think. Make sure. So, we're going to check out that story real quickly, and we're going to talk
but
about
it's like the metro.
talk about the media and how it I don't want to blame the media for this. Charlie Kirk was a massive figure in some ways to the American people, so I understand why the media didn't get this story out wide. But let's check this story out, and then I'm going to let y'all get up out of here.
Have a live update from Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. Let's go there now.
1828 South Highwan Drive. The new bits of information that I have are that we have for sure 3 people who were transported to the hospital. One of those 3 is our shooter. They are all juveniles and all are critical right now. There may be a 4th person that was transported from a location in the area of where this happened. That could have been somebody who was running and fell. I don't know what that injury is. The school is clear. We use teams from all over the metro area to help do a sweep of that school, and that has been done. There is no active threat to the community or to our students anymore. A lot of work for us to do in the aftermath of this, because we have a lot of kids who witnessed, either heard it, saw it, have indicated they were shot at. So we have a lot of interviews we need to do with these kids. And this it'll take a few hours for us to get that squared away. The school has over 900 students. So I think that's a good number for as many kids were at school today. And that's what I have. So please feel free to ask questions.
The suspect juveniles were transported, and you say there was a 4th.
Yes, 3 juveniles from that scene in at Evergreen High School, and then a 4th juvenile we heard was also transported, but I don't know what that injury is. It does sound like this incident occurred on school property, but potentially outside of the school.
So up at the school,
Yes.
one of those is on suspect.
One of the 3 that was transported is our shooter.
Do you know if the shooter was self-inflicted, or was he shot by law enforcement?
Say that
Was
again.
the shooter shot by law enforcement, or was it self-inflicted?
I can't confirm that. I can tell you that I don't believe law enforcement fired any rounds today. So we still need to learn exactly what happened to that suspect and why he is injured the way that he is.
Jackie, what can you tell us about what you know about the shooter? Obviously, you identified he's a juvenile. Was he a student? What do you know?
Great questions. I don't know whether this is male or female. I'll try to find that out. I can't believe I did.
Okay, so all right, why are we showing this? It's extremely important that, that we always make sure that all important information is spread out there as wide as it possibly can. And this story just went under the radar extremely a lot because of the death of Charlie Kirk. And in one of the conversations I had, and I had a lot of major conversations on Wednesday as well as on Thursday about Charlie Kirk, or gun control and, children with guns. I've had a lot of conversations about that over the last couple of days. And, the fact that, something like this can get bypassed in the media, and don't get me wrong, definitely the story was out there, and it's just not widespread. And I have to, even me myself, have to understand that the media can only do so much, and that, even the Charlie Kirk passing away was such a major story that it engulfed the world. It engulfed the media world, and it didn't let the lights shine on such situations like this shooting over in Colorado, or any other horrific thing that happened on that day. It just overtook everything. I kind of wanted to have this conversation stating that the media was horrible and they should have had this story out, but I can't say that. I can say that, such a situation with the passing of a Charlie Kirk is going to do things like this. It's going to interrupt the media cycle to the point where important stories, or stories that need to get out there, should get out there. It's going to block them to some degree, and that's what happened with this story about this shooting over at Evergreen High School. And so I just wanted to take opportunity. I promised that somebody I will take this opportunity to say, prayers for those people who got shot over at Evergreen High School. Nobody seems to have died. Obviously, the students seem to be safe. Obviously, there's 3 shot, 4 hurt. So prayers that they are, recover successfully, and prayers that the shooter gets what justice he deserves. So that is my Friday show, my friends, and we'll start doing a lot more of this. I'm going to start pretty much doing shows every day as much as possible, depending on my schedule, of course, and getting the word out there that the car concierge cares about more than cars, but mainly cars. All right, I'm Chris Surratt, guys. Please like, share, subscribe. Hit me in the DMs if you have any questions, have any comments, have any negative feedback. I'm here for it. And I'm out. Peace.